What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, and what a week it has finished up to be. We had one heck of a rally here on Friday. Yes, I am recording this Friday evening after the bell. It's looking like we are starting to finally turn on the hourly. We are finally back over that 200 EMA, which is good to see. But before we get started, remember to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Now, the bonds. This is what's important here. We've been reiterating about the bonds over and over and over this past week about how essentially Powell has come out and said they are not changing everything. Their song and dance has not changed at all. Essentially, the Fed wants things just to play out the way they are. There is no need to panic, is what essentially the Fed is saying. You can tell again that Mr. Powell has been very frustrated trying to repeat himself over and over and over. And the market has been essentially throwing a tantrum. But being said, bonds essentially won't be touched. He's reiterated till possibly late 2022 or 2023, and possibly even beyond that point. Being said, there will be inflation just in general. The general market and the yield will come up. Again, another thing to point out is that the bond yields are exactly where they were before the pandemic last year. So what really is the issue? There is no concern to buy long-term bonds at this moment. So I think today we finally ingested that information, and it took a little bit of while. We started to try to sell off this morning, but then we really went for a major rip in the afternoon, closing the day out strong. So what are we looking for this week? Before I pull up the charts, I want to pull up some other things. Again, I want to try to incorporate some other different things into these weekly updates in hopes to help you guys out on what to look forward to the week. And one of the big ones being is this week, if you don't know, Roblox is a big IPO coming out this week. That comes out on the 8th, which the 8th is on Monday. So Roblox will be coming out on Monday, a week of the 8th. I think it's actually on the 10th, to be honest. I know this is reading the 8th, but I'm pretty sure last I heard this is actually coming out on the 10th. But it is this week. I know Roblox, there is a lot there. If you don't know anything about Roblox, that virtual platform is huge. The number of subscribers they have, yes, they are young. If you have kids, they may be playing Roblox, but you have to understand that the environment essentially in which the whole platform is built is huge. And essentially our children will eventually get to the point to where that is their reality, right? They'll grow up with this game ultimately. But understanding that Roblox is a big one. I know a lot of people talked about it. I want to get into it. I'm not playing it out the gate. I don't like to play IPOs straight out the gate. Ultimately, I like for it to find a base because normally it's very erratic, very volatile the first day. But when it comes down and it sells off a bit and starts basing, at that point, I would like to get leaps on Roblox. But being said, that is one thing I wanted to bring up for you guys for this week to look forward to. Again, I believe that is on Wednesday, the 10th. Again, during my dailies, I will reiterate that when that day comes up. But ultimately, Roblox is something to watch. Something else I want to bring up is probably not so famous at this point, although if we are correcting at this point, people will probably more aren't too worried about Miss Cathie Wood anymore at this point. She's been buying tons and tons of Tesla, PLTR, and She has also been buying a lot of Nintendo, but what I noticed is that she has been selling some Nintendo over the past couple of days. But going through this list, she made that big buy on Tesla. I think Tesla was sitting at 750 when that made like headline news that she was buying all this Tesla. And now that it's dipped a little bit more from that point down to the 500s, people were just ridiculing her, right? And it's ultimately it's the macro minded, right? You have to think or the micro minded, not the macro minded, right? The macro minded, the bigger picture here is to understand that there is, right? This is just a blimp on the radar compared to the year. Cathie Woods just put herself in the best position possible for another huge year. And I was talking about everything with the bonds and everything, the way, we had that flash crash last Tuesday. It was setting up for a very bullish move. The market is very strong, very ready to go. Again, now that it seems that we've gotten this whole fiasco straightened out, that the market's kind of understanding what Powell's been trying to reiterate to them. I think at this point we run for a while, right? It's not saying there's still a lot of issues with inflation and all that. I get that. But I don't think there will be anything major. We have had a huge correction at this point. I think it's hit at 10%. We'll look at the chart when we get that far. But being said, I think we haven't hit 10%, but I think we're floating around that 5% or so. I have to double check on the chart, but nonetheless, we've had a pretty decent correction right now. Again, I think if there's going to be any kind of like extreme crash or anything, it's really hard to tell. I don't really think that's going to happen. I know there's a lot of people that are still curious, but there is this whole digital age is changing the way a lot of things work nowadays. So it's trying to the market needs to understand that ultimately, right? And trying to understand innovation and the way it's working and the way it's separating from a lot of different things. And if you aren't innovating, that you're essentially you're not going to make it in any kind of business model moving forward. So being said, we're going to go look at Cathie Woods. I know that was long-winded there, but as you can see, there has been a lot of Tesla, some smaller positions here. Like I talked about, Palantir was also another one, big heavy buys on Palantir. I'm pretty decent in Palantir. I'm not going to lie. I have leaps and everything in Palantir. Shares, that's one of my high conviction ones right now. More buying on Tesla, not as heavy as she was. She may be running out a little bit more capital, but buying more Tesla. Buying TDD. These are actually two interesting ones I might look at in getting into myself. Roku and TDD, I think, are ones that I want to play moving forward. Again, depending on how quick this bull market or this acceleration point is, as you can see, there's also a bit more Roku right here being bought. T-Doc was at a good level. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff that is set up, right? If this is the turning point, Monday, maybe we pop on Sunday night, and then ultimately coming into Monday, maybe we get a little bit of sell-off for our entries to continue this bull push. Again, we still have to reach some critical levels so we can understand that the bulls are back, right? We don't want to just jump right in and then we flip the script again and we start selling. I don't think that's the case, but again, you want confirmation. So ultimately, a lot of big buying there from Cathie. So the market is looking good. I mean, we had that pump fake this morning and we sold off pretty hard. Then we continued to have this massive push today. It was pretty incredible. I actually missed most of this. Actually, I was out and about and missed the push. Although when I did see it come down, I left literally like when we were holding here for that brief moment and started pushing up. And after I started seeing the buyers come in, I had a feeling that we we weren't going to go any lower at this point, at least today. So we'll have to see how we open up on Sunday. But I really think we gap. As long as we gap and start breaking trends, I think Monday morning we'll get that pullback, and that will essentially be it, right? I think at that point we're really going to run and restart this bull market and really get some massive steam rolling here. But SPY just incredible today with this massive move. Again, TLT held really well today for the most part. Again, it really doesn't matter. Powell reiterated. There's a couple other Feds out there that were talking today and kind of giving the same song and dance. And I think the market is finally, again, digesting this. And so we might see this come down a little bit more, but I think the market's okay. I think they're understanding that the Fed are just going to kind of let it play out and go from that point. QQQ is actually in a good spot, right? It breaks this trend, which everything looks like it's getting ready to break trend, which again, Sunday, I think we break trend and we might pop a little bit and then retest and then open at a good spot on Monday. Expect to pull back a little bit on Monday for entries. As long as everything is holding and solid, I think we're ready to start making some epic runs here, in my opinion, and what I've been talking about. Tesla today, I actually scalped it a couple different times today. I scalped it here out of this one zone, and then I actually grabbed this off the daily support. And I do use Bollinger Bands. I don't have them on here, but I trade off my mobile, and that has Bollinger Bands. And the reason I like that is it gives the visual of the 2 standard deviations. Now you can calculate that stuff, but when you're talking about timing, when I am scalping, I got that visual. I got to have it. I need to eliminate as much thought as possible. And this came down perfectly. I grabbed it up and caught a pretty decent move here today. It was like a 5% move right there is what I caught on a scalp. Again, I didn't want to hold on to it. I was up in and out because I worried that this would sell off and then we would come back down. I thought it was going to be a retest. But nonetheless, made some good money off of Tesla today. Again, everything is popping back, which was just phenomenal. I missed Airbnb on this move. Everything just came down all at one time. I was messing with Tesla and watching the candles. Again, this was almost like a mini flash crash. This was very quick, and then everything was bought up and then just took off from that point. So I want to watch this. Hopefully, we'll have to see how this is set up on Monday. But I do want to get into this with some kind of leaps or something for the next 2-3 months. But we'll have to see with Airbnb. Square really ripped and right back up. Dipped. Man, I didn't realize it dipped below 200. That's the first time I've seen it below 200 in a while. But Square is going to really rip. Again, it had like 310 price targets and stuff, so could see some really good movement there. Apple is kind of lagging a little bit, but it did break the trend. This is also a good one to look for on Monday. Again, high conviction right now. These are all my favorite stocks right here. I do a lot of short-term trading with them. Sometimes I do bigger swing trades with shares, heavier shares. But these are my favorite and the ones that I like. Again, they provide a lot of liquidity and very easy for me to trade. So that's why these are essentially these couple right here. But ultimately, Apple is a good one on Monday. Facebook could be good as well. If it holds, maybe we break and retest the support here. This could be a good one to also watch for on Monday. BYND. I was looking at this today. I'm wondering if at 125 mark is the new base for BYND, and I used to say 110, but with all the good news and everything that BYND has had, it's kind of been like basing at this 120 mark. So I have to see how this opens on Monday, but again, if it starts hitting this 125 and just starts basing and consolidating, that definitely is a good sign to buy for that rally on that one. Spot, it's holding down low, so this is actually pretty good. If this does hold low, this may be a lagger. You may be able to grab and ride this one back up. Ultimately, trying to look for the laggers right now. Etsy could be a possible lagger. although I think there might be some bigger moves. That's a pretty decent move there. There's a lot of good things. So it's really just picking your poison at this point, right? Still in you and commons in this one. Again, I think this one is, once we start getting momentum to the upside, this one's really going to start running again. PLTR, again, this is one of my really, really high conviction ones. It's been holding this 24, 25 mark for a while with everything going on. Finally had that quick flash crash and came right back up before the end of the day, which is great to see. It's very bullish on the stock. So I have to see how that one plays out. NNDM, still in this one, in shares in this one. I'm expecting this one to continue to run back up with everything else that is going on. Break this trend line. Again, everything is at support right now. I think Sunday we'll get that break over and then do a retest, possibly overnight, get a little bit of a run up and a pullback on Monday morning for us to enter and hopefully continue to all-time highs. Again, be careful, manage your risk. Don't just jump in. Just be wary of what is going on in the market. Fastly, I do really like Fastly. It's been getting beat down pretty good. It keeps going down. I'm surprised that we're actually down. It got down to 58 today. But another one I want to watch, most definitely, AALM. Better stocks at this point in my mind. Planet 13. I did add more shares onto this, essentially on every dip. I have a couple of different positions. I'm not huge in it, but I got enough essentially to carry me out for the rest of the year, which was my original plan. Very good butcher. I'm still in this one. I didn't average down. Again, this flash crash came so quick. I was looking at other things. I didn't manage to grab anything to average down a little bit more on this one, but still rocking this one. Still love the fundamentals on this one. I think it's going to have a great couple months. EvoGen, I do like this one. It is hanging out a little bit low, which is good. Maybe this will be a lagger if it starts consolidating down here. Start adding some shares and then wash it right up again. CRNT, I'm in a couple leaps in this guy. Writing these one out for the year. Let me see here. Crisp. Now we're getting some other ones. I know MP took quite a beating, but it's a good MP Materials is another good one to possibly get in if it consolidates here for a couple of days. That'd be ideal, and then possibly ride this one back up as well for the year. Once all the rest of Biden's plan starts unfolding, that could definitely be a good one. Enphase is another one I want to watch, keep an eye on. This one here too, STPK, Star Peak Energy. I do like this one a lot too. If this does hold here, consider taking something here as well. I mean, there's a lot of good ones, so don't be too diversified, right? I think you should pick a couple solid ones and go with that. If you're trying to capture them all, I think you're going to be too spread out, in my opinion. Proto Lab is actually taking one heck of a beating. I mean, its all-time high was 286. You're sitting at 134. 3D printing could be another good one, along with NNDM to get into. I know, again, they have a lot of different, but another good one you could get in. So definitely check that one out. I've been talking about Walmart. I've been in and out of these positions here, but I don't know if I'm going to take Walmart. Could be a good play, but I think there'll be bigger moves in other stocks, in my opinion. Space is at a good. Everything is at good support. So as long as we play out good on Monday, if we can break that trend and on Monday have a little bit of pullback, we can definitely do pretty well here. Amazon took a major beating. I didn't realize it was that much below 3,000. I don't really like trading Amazon. BA is finally coming down. Take a little bit of a beating. I mean, it's had a nice little run, but now dying off. Let's see, TDoc is another big one. It's actually really low, to be honest. That's like almost it's a pretty decent move right there. I definitely got to keep my eye on TDoc. coming up for this week as well. When I think some of the value stocks are starting, I know there was a run in rotation, which might have been where the bonds were selling off. The money from the bonds were maybe pulled into a lot of value stocks, which could have been possible. But we'll have to see on that one. Let's see here. It's at 19. SEZ. I know Z is one that Kathy's been buying a lot more of too, with this big dip on Z. Peloton. Rockets. I'm trying to think here. Yeah, a lot of these have just whipped straight right back, like nothing ever happened. Everything's like back at solid supports. So again, we want to see it hold on a Monday morning, and if it's doing that, then again, pick your high conviction, jump right in. ATVI. That's not ATVI. ASTI. I like ASTI a lot. If it's holding here, I want to take another position in this at that 4-cent mark. And ride this one back up. Again, I do like the solar, the flexible solar for this one is phenomenal. WWE is continuing to run. I was watching this on this pullback today too. Got sidetracked, but had a nice little pull and rip again today. AMC, GME was pushing. It's at one point today, I thought this was what was causing a lot of the issues today, but everything seems to be working out at this point. I think, again, everything is digested and we're ready to roll. Target could be good. It's taken quite a bit of a beating over the past couple of days, but definitely one that could be a possibility. But with that being said, again, there's a lot going on this week. You got Roblox IPO. You got we did have some good job numbers today too. That's could have been what helped the market in the ultimate run here. But being said, I think everything is definitely looking good. Again, if we gap up, I think we're going back to all-time highs. Don't quote me on that. Again, do your own due diligence, manage your risk. But I think we have found bottom. In my opinion, I know I've been kind of talking about that all week. I think it was only a matter of time. I think now the way the candles have been moving, the way the information is being digested, I think the market's starting to understand that about the yields, that they will go up, but everything is still okay. There's, again, no reason to take any major action. Everything is still fine. So let's get this train back rolling, manage risk, make that money. And until next time, guys, I will talk to you later.